Hi guys, thank you so much for joining Ace Your Health podcast. We're going to continue our summer immune series with moderator Barbara Grandison. Today's podcast is going to be on the sun and the importance of the sun in our life and the morning sun. Hi guys, the morning sun is extremely important for us. The reason being the morning sun brings in the energies of the sun as it's rising. It allows our body to mimic the circadian rhythm, so that it rises our awakeness, our alertness, our immune system. As we go through the day, our body wants to be, our body is going to get exposed to a lot of things during the life and during the day. And we need to be more alert for it. And one of the ways to train our circadian rhythm is by getting exposed to the morning sun. Morning sun is also light, it's soft on our skin, and we don't want as much skin damage. So when we're getting morning sun, we still are converting our vitamin D to make it into an active vitamin D in our body. And vitamin D directly is found inside white blood cells. So white blood cells are your lymphocytes, neutrophils, all the immune cells that are part of the white blood cell categories. They have vitamin D, and we can measure that. And this is something that we measure. And when we do the blood work, we find out how much is your vitamin D in your serum, in your plasma, compared to inside your white blood cell. So somebody might have, levels of 30 or 40, they might think it's normal, but then their white blood cell doesn't have any vitamin D in them. So we have to realize that we need to allow the vitamin D to get inside the white blood cell to make them active. So there are certain nutrients that are inside white blood cell, there are certain nutrients that are inside red blood cells, and they affect the activity, how well these things are functioning in the body. You want your police to be armed with the guns.
Right.
There's no point of the police without the gun, right?
Right.
And unless he's Jet Li or Bruce Lee or something, right?
Yeah.
But you still need the guns, right?
Yeah.
So that's where vitamin D comes in handy. When we're bringing in the sun energy into us from the energy perspective, the morning sun intrinsically at a subconscious level elevates our sun energy in us. And that is something that has been known for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So when we bring the sun energy into our body, it allows us to fight the immune cell, or allows us to strengthen the immune cells so that we can fight off other things better, or just be, it's required for our, vitamin D is a steroid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's required for our DNA expression inside the nucleus. It's extremely important for our energy production as well. And most of us think about vitamin D, how it's important for our bones, but in reality, it's really not. I mean, it is, but we want to make sure that so much more.
Which is kind of cool. I think when you see Dr. Ace, you learn, about the simple things, but he gives a little bit more detail. So sometimes that helps it sink in and helps you stick with doing it, which I really like. What time would you say would be the best?
So if you're able to get the morning sun, the first thing in the morning when the sun is rising, that's the most ideal. The first half an hour as the sun is coming out of the horizon, you stare into it. But a lot of us are not privileged to have that. So then you can do it in the first hour or two. The first 48 minutes are more important, and then obviously the first hour and a half to 2 hours. If that's all you can. If you wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock, you're gonna miss the first, 48 minutes. So then get as soon as you wake up, right? Go out in the nature and absorb those energies, because when the sun hits these plants, there's a residue on top of the plant that has been settling overnight, and a lot of the plant starts activating as soon as they get sun. The whole process of photosynthesis starts happening. And these plants are producing the most amount of oxygen as soon as they start getting that sun. So and they're producing energy as well. So that's something that, we're looking into and saying, okay, if we bring that energy into ourselves as well, nature is making energy, we're gonna make energy at the same rate in the morning. And nature doesn't only exude oxygen, right? Plants don't only exude oxygen in environment, they also exude other phytonutrients, other chemicals. There are plenty of other botanical names, but it has scientifically shown that when we go out in nature first thing in the morning and when we're around plants or trees, they're transferring a certain amount of chemicals that are increasing our natural killer cell activity, which is exactly what we need if we want to fight off these different viruses.
Yeah.
And that load decreases as the day goes on, right? As the heat goes on during the daytime, the amount of they will get dispersed, dissipate. So then it's better to do it in the morning than in the afternoon.
That makes sense. That's good. Thank you. I'm sold.
You're sold.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ace.